if you want to get rich, you need to stop saving money and you need to do this instead, okay? So I've been posting a video every day for the last 27 days or so. We're almost at day 30. And one of the most common questions I've been getting asked in response to these videos is, I have X amount of money, I can save it, I could invest it, what should I do? And the amounts have been as low as $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 and up to like $200,000 for the people who have asked. So if you want to get rich, or let's just say wealthy, then saving's not going to get you there, right? Saving's not going to get you, I mean, you could save for decades, and maybe when you're 70, 80 years old, you'll have enough money to retire, right? 65 plus, let's say. That's the typical age that you retire at. But what you should be doing instead is buying appreciating assets that also cash flow, okay? So I like real estate. Some other examples of this are dividend stocks. You buy stock of a company, they pay you out a 3 to 4% dividend every year, and you can live off the dividends if you have millions of dollars invested. You could also buy a business, and the business would go up in value over time. If it's a good business, it also cash flows. So that's another option. I like real estate because, first of all, by the statistics, most millionaires and the wealthiest people in the world own real estate, but it has the most amount of millionaires created by an asset class, by an industry. So real estate, it's tangible, it's easily understood. The banks have specialized financing and loans specifically for real estate. I'm at a Airbnb right now, and there's a water view here. It's in Seattle, but this is probably a $2.8 million Airbnb. So this is an example of something that goes up in value, and it also cash flows from the Airbnb tenants. My real estate strategy is a bit different. You can get into a deal for far less than you would. On a $2.8 million house, you would probably need about $600,000 to purchase it at a 20% down. So you'd need quite a bit of cash to come out and purchase this. With $100,000, if you were to use my real estate strategy, and if you want more details on that, I have a few videos on my channel. But you can get a house for $150,000 or less, and you can get in for 20%. So let's just say that's, let's just use the $100,000 price point, because that's in the middle of the 50 to 150K price points that I typically buy at. So let's just say $100,000. You can get in for 20 to 25% down. So let's just say $20,000. You do $10,000 rehab, so now you're in it for $30,000. And if you have $100,000 of capital, you can buy 3 properties, and typically we're looking at around a $500 a month net cash flow per property. So if you have $100,000, you can create $1,500 worth of income just using your cash. And if you use the right strategy and force appreciation by putting a tenant in there and through your rehab, let's say the house goes up in value, you get it reappraised, you do a cash out refinance, you get it reappraised, and now it's worth $150,000. Well, you get 75% of that back, and you can pay off your costs, and you can just repeat this process over and over. You can also use the bank's money. So if you have 0% interest business credit, you can use that to fund your deal. So you can convert credit into cash using, there's a few different apps that you can do this. You can convert credit to cash, and you can play with the bank's money for a very small fee. So this is the way that you should be using capital and using credit and leverage, is to acquire appreciating assets that also cash flow. And this will help you to increase your income. It also helps you to increase your net worth, and you are getting paid every month. If you're doing real estate, or you're doing a business, or you're doing dividend checks, I believe, are every year. So like a business or real estate, you're getting paid every month. So I will typically keep a savings of about 12 months. So if I just add up all my lifestyle expenses, my rent or my mortgage and my food and entertainment, and I just have that amount of cash in the bank for 12 months. Some people do 6 months, some people do 24 months, but I have 12 months. So that means if I never worked another day, I'd have enough savings to survive for a year and figure it out. every other dollar, I use it to buy assets, appreciating assets that cash flow. Again, my preferred asset class is real estate, but you could buy a business if you know anything about that, or you could buy dividend stocks. There aren't as many benefits to dividend stocks as real estate, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's what you should do. If you don't have a lot of money, let's say that you have $5,000, $10,000, maybe even $20,000 sitting around, and that's your savings, that's your life savings. I don't mean to laugh because I came from not a good place financially before too. So what you would do in that case, if you're asking how should you invest $10,000, well, you should use that $10,000 and invest it into education or learning some kind of path that's going to help you increase your active income. Because your problem isn't investing at that point. It's you have too low of an income where you don't have a surplus of funds that you can then use to invest in other things that grow your net worth and grow your cash flow. So you need money. You need some kind of access to capital, whether it's your own capital or the bank's capital, in order to create more income from these semi-passive or passive income sources like real estate, like buying a business, like stocks. You need money to play with in order to get those things. So if you have, let's just say less than $50,000, you could buy a house using my strategy with that, but I would recommend taking a chunk of that and investing it in learning something that's going to allow you to increase your active income, learning some kind of skill set or service or something, right? That's going to help you maybe get promoted if you're at a job, something that's going to help you increase your active income, because that's going to help you to generate more cash that you can then use to buy more of these appreciating assets that cash flow. So yeah, if you want to get rich, you want to get wealthy, you can't just save your way to becoming rich and wealthy. You need to acquire assets that go up in value, that also pay you over time. So if you're interested in real estate, I have a service that can help you do that. If you have $30,000 in capital, or let's just say $25,000 plus. If you have a good credit score, we can also get you approved for 0% interest business credit. I've seen up to $200,000 across multiple cards, and then you can convert that into cash to buy assets. So if you have a good credit score, there's some options there. But I would say if you have $25,000 and you want to buy an appreciating cash flowing asset, then we can help you get into real estate. So I have a done for you service. I help you acquire your first rental, or if you want to acquire multiple, you have a bit more cash to play with, we can help you do 3, 5, 10 plus properties in a portfolio. And yeah, that is how you get rich. If you look at the richest, wealthiest people in the world, that's how they did it. They built and acquired assets that go up in value and that cash flow. Businesses, real estate are the most common examples. There's also stocks, but that is what you do. Okay, don't just save your money, save up 6 to 12 months and then invest the rest into these assets. Or if your income's not where you want it to be, then invest it into learning how you can increase your income to that point. Okay, so that's what I do. That's what successful people do. So I hope that was useful. And let me know in the comments what you want to see next. If you like this video, give it a like. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.